I share the gospel pretty much everywhere I go. That's what the Bible says, right? Even as you go. It usually goes pretty well, but tonight it didn't. So I'm at a gas station getting a bottle of water, and my go-to is, hey, has anyone ever loved you enough to share the gospel with you? And typically they say yes or no, or they don't know what to say, and they just stay silent, and I'll continue on to share the gospel with them. Because I love them. It's not that I want to do this. I'm intimidated myself. I don't want to waste my energy. I don't want to be the weird guy. I love them enough to the point that perfect love casts out all fear. And so the guy is ringing up the water, and I say, hey, has anyone ever shared the gospel with you? He says, I'm good, man. Like, I'm not interested. And I'm kind of shocked because I'm like really good at getting it out anyways. And I didn't know what to say. I thought about saying, hey man, I'm a medical doctor. I've seen a lot of people die. I just care about you. But you only have a couple seconds in these types of interactions. And so I said, do you know what you're saying you're good to? And he got mad and said, I'm at work, man. And so as Paul says, if you're not well received, kick the dust off your shoes and leave. And so I left and I said, don't say on Judgment Day, no one tried to tell you. And he said, fuck you, man. And I don't know what this guy went through before. I'm sure he's got all sorts of things that he would consider religious trauma. I get it. Maybe your dad was a pastor and you saw him be a hypocrite, one person at home, another person in the church. Maybe he was abusive. Maybe you've been dumped on your whole life with how wrathful God is and how bad sin is, which is true. And that hasn't been balanced out with the love, the grace, and the mercy of God. Or maybe you're just happy in your sin and you don't want to change. Maybe your religious trauma is someone told me my worldview is wrong. That's not religious trauma, that's resilience to sin. From my perspective, though, it feels like leaving a patient on the table. Like as a doctor trained as a surgeon, it feels like a patient flatlining and me being, hey, do you want me to resuscitate you? And they're like, nah, I'm good. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I could just easily resuscitate you. And they're like, I'm good, man. I'm at work. And I'm like, dude, you're going to die and I'm trying to save your life. And they're like, fuck you, man. That's literally what it feels like. Watching someone go to hell and not caring at all that you're trying to intervene. And then you have to remember it was just us yesterday, and you can't even be mad at them for it. They're idiots. They literally don't get it. We didn't get it until we woke up. But the reason I push on anyways is because I've done that to Christians in the past. When someone tried to help me, I told them I wasn't interested. And I wasn't until I was. And now every time I think about that person, I hope I didn't discourage them from what they were trying to do to help. I look back and I feel so heartbroken that I misunderstood their intentions. My brother too. A street preacher handed my brother a Bible tract like 15 years ago. My brother crumpled it up and said, I'm a Christian too, but I don't like the way you're doing this. This isn't right. And the street preacher was pretty seasoned. He said, oh, okay, how do you do it? And of course my brother didn't evangelize, and so he got him. But then my brother actually got saved, and looking back on that moment, he regrets the way he treated that man, and he hopes he didn't cause him to stumble. Sometimes they switch. Sometimes it's the doctor laying on the table and the patient doing the surgery. Sometimes the student becomes the teacher and the teacher themselves fall away. Now, ironically, my brother is a street preacher, and so I would encourage you not to be discouraged. Do not grow weary while doing good. If you have to, dust off your feet and move on, but pray for them all the same. Don't judge them, love them through it. Remember, it was just us yesterday.